everyone and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be trying digital art for the very first time. Never done digital art before. I'm very much a traditional artist. I love collecting art supplies. I have so many Copic markers, acrylic paints, pencils, gel pens, crayons, paper. I just love collecting it, and I think digital art might be very good for my bank balance because you only have to buy the one tablet and the drawing software is free. So I'm going to see how it goes. I've always been a little bit scared to try it before because I'm very much like my comfort zone. I like doing traditional art, and I was a little bit scared. I don't really like learning new software. It took me quite a while to learn how to edit videos. It does take me quite a while with technical things, but I decided to give it a go because my dad very kindly gave me a tablet because he said he bought it a while ago and didn't really use it, didn't really like it, and he said, would you like to try it? And I was like, yes please. So he gave me this Wacom Inuos Draw Pen. Here is the tablet. I think that's what the model is. I wasn't quite sure because it doesn't say it on here. So I looked it up online and I think it is the Inuos Draw Pen. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. And here is the bit that you draw on, and here is the fancy digital pen. That's really all I know. All I know is that you attach it to a computer, download some drawing software, add some layers, do some drawing and see what happens and hope for the best. So let's see how I do trying digital art for the first time. So let's get on with it. So welcome to the voiceover part of the video. I was a little bit of a div at the beginning of this speed paint because I managed to find some recording software and set it up, but I forgot to press record at the beginning. So at the beginning, when I was fiddling around with brushes, trying to find my feet with the program that I'm using Krita, by the way, because it's a really good free drawing program for digital art. I've heard some good things about it, so that's what I'm using. So I managed to download that, set up the screen recording software to record the screen, but I forgot to press record for the first bit. So the first bit is missing. That's why the owl's beak and eyes are mainly in place at this point. So sorry about that. But yeah, what can you do? I am a total newbie to this, so there we go. But yeah, I decided to try and make a digital painting rather than a digital drawing, because when I was trying out the brushes, which I didn't record because I'm silly, I did find it quite difficult to ink because of the pen pressure. Is quite hard to get used to because I am very heavy-handed when I use traditional media, so it was quite difficult to get used to the inking, and also digital inking is quite hard. So I didn't go for my cartoony style. Instead I went for a painterly animal because I'm much better at doing realistic animals than I am people, and I thought I could get some really good textures. Although I wasn't very ambitious with the brushes. I think I used the pencil to do the sketch layer and then just one of the brushes to do the painting, and I was really surprised at how easy I found digital painting. I was expecting to really struggle like I was with when I was trying to do the inking, but I was surprised, and I imagine this is what oil painting is like. I've never tried oil painting because I am really impatient, and I'm not very good at letting paint dry, or I'm not very good either at building up with traditional media. So with acrylic paint it dries quickly and I really like that, but with oil paint you can go back to it and keep blending out the layers. And yeah, so I imagine this is what oil painting is like, and I found it really good. And also what was a really useful thing was the colour picking tool. So if I wanted to go back to a colour I'd used previously, I could just use the colour picker to click on that colour and it would come up with the exact same colour. Whereas when you're doing traditional art, you have to mix the paint again if you come back to it later. So if you come back to it the next day, you have to mix the exact same colour again, and this never ever works. You never get it exactly the same. So I was really fond of this feature. Another feature that I was really fond of was the Control Z or undo, which doesn't really exist in painting. It's a bit easier I guess with oil paints when you can just paint over it, but it doesn't really exist anywhere else. So I've got to remember when I go back to traditional drawing that there isn't an undo button. So I did really enjoy doing this digital painting. I think I've got a lot to learn. For example, I don't think I utilised the layers as well as I could have done. The point of digital art is that you can add different layers and then delete layers and just kind of work on one thing at a time, but I just kind of added a layer every now and again. I think I need more practice in understanding how layers work, and also it would be good to learn how more of the features work, how the blending brushes work or blending tools work, and actually discover more rather than just use one brush to paint. Although I was really pleased with how this turned out. I mean, it does look a little bit messy in places where I could have used the blender to blend it out, but I was really pleased with the end result. So what are the benefits of using digital art rather than traditional media? I think that digital art is, well, firstly, it's very clean. It's not very messy. You don't have to get loads and loads of paints out, and you don't have the big cleanup afterwards. You just hit save and print or whatever you want to do. So that's really good in that respect. If you don't have a lot of art supplies, you can use just the digital tablet and download some free software. There is quite a lot of free drawing software out there. I downloaded Krita just because I heard quite a lot of good things and I wanted to try digital painting, and it is very good for digital painting. I'm very impressed with the software, but you can obviously spend money on digital software if you want to. You can buy Photoshop or other drawing programs. Don't really know what they're called, but there are others. But yeah, you don't have to have a lot of equipment, and if you just have a very small workspace, you can do digital art. And also there's features, like I've said, like the undo button, layers, all that kind of thing, the color picker, which you can't get when you're doing traditional art. And also it's just something very different, I guess. And also it's good for practicing realism, I think, and the painterly style is really good because it's kind of like oil painting but without the oil paint. It's a lot cleaner and a lot quicker, and I'm definitely going to use it to practice my anatomy studies, and I'm going to try and get better at drawing people realistically, and I think digital art will really help me to do that. And also I'm probably going to use it to do some more Charlie merchandise for my Redbubble store, and hopefully get around to making some badges and things like that, because I think it will be much easier to do in digital art. And also I do want to get better at inking digitally so I can do some Charlie colouring pages. And also it was so much easier to film or record once I had remembered to press record, that is. It's much easier. I didn't have to worry about the camera timing off after 15 minutes or the lighting. So this is probably one of the first videos where the lighting and the speed paint isn't a problem, and you know, quite pleased with that. But yeah, I didn't have to worry about anything like that, and it's so much easier to edit as well. You don't have to fix any of the colours or turn all the images round, because usually I film everything upside down and have to turn it round and sort that out during the editing. So it is really good, and it's really a lot easier to make a video out of this. So I think I am going to be definitely using this tablet in the future, and I'm going to be doing some more digital videos. So if you would like some more digital videos, do let me know and I will hopefully do some more. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Katie. I make art videos, I do challenges, speed paints, all that kind of thing you would expect from an art channel. Try to do some challenges that are a little bit out there. Did some art with hair products. That was a cool video. I really enjoyed making that video, so I'll leave a link to that in the card above so you can go check that out. And do feel free to subscribe, and if you like this video, you know, emotionally, please do leave it a like below, because that really helps me out. So for the background, I didn't just want to leave it black. I wanted to pick out some of the colours from the owl itself and kind of do a blurry background, but because I don't really know how to do blurs or blends really, I didn't really want to ruin it. But I went back to the first layer and used the ink bottle tool. I think it's an ink bottle that you kind of splash ink, sort of. I don't really know what the tool was or the brush was, but yeah, I wanted to create a kind of bokeh effect, which is the kind of blurred circular background you get in photography. And I'm not quite sure the background was the best choice. The background is what I'm least happy with here, but I know it'll take some time to experiment with digital art and take some time experimenting with the program to get comfortable with doing these kind of backgrounds, I guess. But it wasn't too bad. I tried to pick out the yellow of his eyes and the light blue in the beak and in the feathers to try and draw it all together, but I don't think it quite worked out as well as it could have done. But it's not bad, and I am really pleased with how this turned out, and I'm quite surprised at how transferable the skills are from traditional art. From never trying digital art before, it's quite easy to adapt your skills if you know and understand things like colour, anatomy, drawing, building up depth and contrast and all that kind of thing. It is quite easy to transfer it digitally. It just takes a while to get used to the software and the pen pressure of a digital tablet and looking at a screen when you're drawing on the paper or the tablet. You're not looking at what you're drawing when you are in traditional art, if that makes sense. So it's just those things you have to get used to rather than how to draw. If you know how to draw on a piece of paper, you can do it on a screen. It's just a little bit of adaptation. So here I am attempting the background, and like I said, I really don't think it's that effective. I don't think the colours quite match the eyes and the beak, and I wish I hadn't done it almost. I do wish I had left it black, but it's not the end of the world and it still looks okay, and I'm just experimenting and trying it out, so I shouldn't really be too hard on myself there, I guess. But yeah, I am really pleased with how this turned out, and I'm definitely going to be doing some more digital art videos in the future, so watch out for those, and let me know in the comments below how you think I did, and if you've got any advice on how to learn how to use the Krita and how to learn how to use different brushes and utilize layers. If you've got any links to tutorials or anything like that, I really appreciate it, so do leave them in the comments below. I'm really very new to this and I really want to learn how to get better at digital art because it's something I want to do and continue with. And we're coming to the end of the video now, so thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. But before I go, I just want to mention that I have put this piece up on my Redbubble store, so if you would like to buy a print or some merch with it on, then I will leave a link in the description below. I think it does look quite good on some of the products, and some of the products it does get rid of the background that I don't really like, so that's really good. And there are also other pieces on there. There's the piece from my last video, I put that up there, and also there's quite a few Charlie pieces up there, so feel free to check that out. Links in the description below. But I'm definitely going now, so I'll see you next week. Bye for now.